CP.
Hi Mummy Bear.
How are you?
I'm just chilling,
Just
enjoying
chilling.
holidays. Very, very nice.
Enjoyed finishing your last exam last week.
Yes, exactly.
Freedom.
Freedom! Just awaiting the results.
Yes, there's that to look forward to.
Exactly.
But in the garden, really, we haven't been up to a lot,
No.
have we? We've taken a step back. It's been warm.
It has been warm. I think,
we've been busy with other things.
yeah, lots of stuff to be sorting out this year as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, the garden's looking good. I did do one or two bits and bobs in the veg garden.
Yeah.
But mainly just kind of keeping things watered because of the heat.
Yeah.
Just making sure they have plenty of water, and that's all good.
Exactly. And something I need to mention is I keep on referring to strimming. Well, it turns out it's not that recognisable unless you're from the UK. So apologies to our friends in the US. Do you know what they call it over there, strimming?
No.
Weed whacking.
Seriously.
And
That's so much cooler than strimming. Weed whacking.
It is, isn't it?
That's
and in
very
Australia, do you know what they call it?
No.
Whippersnipping. So
Really?
your strimmer's
Okay.
a whippersnipper.
So you've been whippersnipping and
Weed
weed
whacking.
whacking.
And if you're in South Africa, it's brush cutting, which makes a bit more sense. So you go
That's
weed
very
whacker,
cool.
whippersnipper, brush cutter.
That is, that should be something to get you ready for any, I don't know,
Talk.
performance talk, chat, whatever, where you've got to weed whacker, whippersnipper, I can't
Brush
remember.
cutter.
Brush cutter.
So strim is the least imaginative of
Yeah.
all of them.
Very dull.
But also some other housekeeping. So we talked about that water that's 400 miles below the Earth's surface.
Yeah, very peculiar.
Well, I said about how it was a state that wasn't solid, liquid or gas.
Yeah, and you couldn't understand what
I
was
couldn't
between
understand
liquid
Yeah.
and gas, and it was just weird.
I've only ever really known there to be three
Yeah.
states of matter.
Yeah.
That's in my ignorance. Anyway, just to let you know, Sweet Pea, there are 4 normal states of matter. So solid, liquid, gas and plasma. Did you know that?
I didn't know there was plasma.
Chemistry lessons. And then there are some states such as glass or liquid crystal. They're also known to exist. But there's certain states such as Bose-Einstein condensates, neutron degenerate matter, and quark-gluon plasma. They're known to exist under really extreme conditions. So your Bose-Einstein condensates, they form at extremely low temperatures. Your neutron degenerate matter at extremely high densities, and your quark-gluon plasma at extremely high energies.
That is really, really cool.
So not something I think we'll come across day to
No.
day. But they exist anyway.
They exist. That's amazing. I love that.
So that's my housekeeping for last week. And before we get into gardening news, I just wanted to say a big thank you to Jane from Derbyshire
Yes.
for your lovely, lovely podcast review. We
Oh,
really
that was so
appreciated
nice.
that. Thank you. A little
Yeah.
like that goes a long way. So thanks so much.
Completely.
Right, some gardening news, Suki.
Yes. Let's go for it.
First of all, you remember Iford Manor? Those statues that were stolen the other week. Well, police have made 2 arrests in connection with it, but they haven't got the statues back at the moment. But
That's a shame.
hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll keep you posted if anything
I
else
would like
happens.
to know.
But hopefully they get them back.
Yep.
And then also Monty's doing a one-off talk, the only one that he's doing this year. And it's
Okay.
going to be at the Dominion Theatre in London on the 19th of October. He says he'll be chatting about how they made the garden at Longmeadow, some doggy companions he's had along the way,
Sweet.
his travels around the world. So a little
lovely.
sort of audience with
Nice.
on the 19th of October. You can book tickets through fane.co.uk. I haven't heard of that, but that's where
Never
you
heard
get
of
your
that.
tickets.
Okie dokes.
And do you remember we talked about Himalayan balsam last week?
Yeah, they came in on the floods.
Yeah, Wendy Bundy was trying to tackle that. It's just a continuous problem because
Yeah.
it always comes in each time her garden floods.
Yeah.
Well, another well-known problem that we have in the UK is giant hogweed.
Oh.
And that apparently is really quite prolific this year because
Really?
of the sort of climate that we've had this first part of the year.
Interesting. That isn't that the stuff where if you slightly touch the sap, it can completely destroy your skin. It like bubbles and
Yeah,
the
it
bad
causes.
burns.
It's called phytophotodermatitis.
Oh yeah.
Really nasty. So it means that it stops the skin basically protecting itself from the sun,
Oh
from
no.
the UV light. So you get these massive, bubbly, big, painful blisters.
Oh
I mean,
gosh.
I've seen photos where just someone's entire hand is a blister. Literally,
Yeah.
looks like someone's blown it up.
Like you do with a glove, you know, when you get a hand glove.
Okay, that's a better,
Oh my gosh.
better
Ugh.
image. Yeah, like one of those gloves blown up.
Oh no. That's
Well, anyway,
awful.
it is a big problem at the moment, and it also apparently comes in. So it loves riversides. So these things shoot up to 5 meters tall before they then set flower and set seed.
Yeah,
and
they're huge, aren't they?
They're massive. And they set seed, and then the seeds just get washed down the river, and so they crop up all along riverbanks.
Oh no!
So they're really trying to tackle it. Apparently, it's most prevalent in Scotland and down in the southeast of the UK, and they're having to use some pretty hardcore weed killers just to keep it at bay. They can't get rid of it completely. No, it's just always there. And that's another plant that was brought over to the UK, like Japanese knotweed, that was brought over as an ornamental. They thought this giant hogweed looked so impressive, being so massive.
It is rather beautiful. It's like the giant fennel. It's rather, it's big.
Yeah.
I mean, giant fennel's way prettier, obviously. But it's the umbels that are really pretty.
It's the beautiful umbels again, isn't it? I remember our neighbour when I was growing up had one, and we all were told to stay well away from it because kids used to, because of the massive hollow stem, they used to chop it and use part of the stem as a telescope.
Oh my gosh!
Then they would put it against their eye.
No.
And then obviously cause blindness.
Oh my gosh, that is so dangerous.
Thing. Anyway, so that is prevalent. So there's some information, I'll put some information on our website how you can identify it, because big cow parsley can look very similar.
It can get huge.
I struggle a bit recognising that. And then there's also, I think it's just called hogweed, not the giant one, and hogweed is fine. But it looks very similar to giant hogweed.
Yeah,
so
of course.
I'll put some information on our website. If you go to the recaps page, click on episode 15, which this one is, and then it'll take you to all the information. But
great.
A real problem at the moment, and not just a problem for us, it's also because it gets so big so quickly, it's shading out native plants as well. So quite an
big
issue.
warning going out there.
Some better news though.
Always like a bit of nice news.
Yeah. In Japan, if they're doing some construction and there are trees in the way, instead of just chopping down the trees, they actually go through a very, very lengthy process, months long, to dig up the tree. And move it to somewhere else. Isn't that incredible?
Like if it's a huge oak, they'll pick up the huge oak.
Exactly.
That is amazing.
Exactly that.
That is respect. That is proper respect for plants.
So the process that they go through, they first of all assess the tree's health, and they take into account age, size and species, and then comes what is called the nemawashi stage. And that's where they start digging up around the roots, and that can take months. So they will slowly loosen the soil and trim the roots in stages, so that the tree has time to kind of adapt, and it reduces transplant shock. And then when it's ready, they use cranes, they use wooden rollers, and they use inflatable platforms, and they lift it and move it. And for example, there was a famous camphor tree in Minato-ku where they used the wooden beams and tracks were laid, and it took up to 70 workers to move the tree just meters at a time. So they would inch it along.
Oh my gosh.
And they used all these ancient techniques, all for the respect of this tree. Isn't that beautiful?
That is lovely. That's a really nice story. I like that.
And then once it's in its new location, they specially prepare the ground, and they make sure that there's nothing at all, no stray stone to block the tree's kind of rerouting process.
That's amazing. Like when I put something in the ground, if there's a stone, I'm like, oh well, you can put your roots around it. It'll be all right. They're taking out all the stones, making sure there's no blockage.
Yeah, and then they monitor it and they water it and they fertilise it for months and months afterwards.
That is really cool.
To get it back to good state before it can fend for itself again.
Love that. Brilliant.
Absolutely beautiful. I've got a little video I can put on as well on our website so you can see, but it's so meticulously done. They sort of wrap these roots up and put all these pieces of wood around the roots to protect the roots, and I mean, it just is, it's a thing of beauty, you know. It's like a dance almost, kind of choreography rather than just shifting trees.
Yeah, exactly. That's so cool.
So any plant fun facts, Sweet Pea?
Yes, so I'm going to do a two-parter.
All right.
Like a lot of films are at the moment. They all seem to be two-parters.
Like Mission Impossible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think the Dune film, or at least, no, that's longer. That's a trilogy.
I think that's 3 parts.
That's going to be 3 parts.
We barely made it through 1 part.
Yeah.
We won't be seeing the other 2.
No. No time whatsoever. But there's going to be a 2-parter on plant names. Mm-hmm. Some interesting ones. So this week, more ornamentals. Next week, more edible plants.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so, great.
Yeah, so and it's kind of things that just lighten up your day, just make you feel happy, and some things which are quite interesting. So I'm going to start with dandelions. The great plant. People think, oh no, it's a weed, but it can be utterly amazing.
We love it.
We do love it. Its Latin name is Taraxacum officinale. So the genus part of it, Taraxacum, comes from the Arabic word tarak shagug. Right. I'm not sure if I said that correctly, but that means bitter herb. And then the species part of it, so the officinale, comes from its kind of medicinal properties and culinary uses, and the fact that an officina was the storeroom in a monastery. And so it's all kind of medicinal plants. So anything, so Calendula officinalis.
Yeah, salvias. There's some officinalis salvias.
There's everything that has officinalis in it. I think therefore means that it is medicinal, can be used.
Wow, how interesting.
In, anything that you need it for.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think that's really, really cool. And then more on just the fact that it's called a dandelion.
Yeah.
You know, it comes from the French dent de lion.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Which means lion's tooth.
Oh.
Dent.
I thought it meant a dandy lion.
Oh.
So quite a swish.
I'm quite dandy.
With its mane. I thought it was its mane. I really did.
A slightly dandy lion.
Yeah.
Oh,
so it means
sweet.
lion's tooth.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
I prefer the idea of a dandy lion.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the dandelion as well. No one knows quite why it's called that. Might be referring to the jagged kind of leaf edge, but it's not really known why. It is also commonly known in France as pissenlit.
What does that mean?
Which
sounds rude.
Yeah, if you dissect what it means pee on the bed.
Oh, it is rude then?
Yeah.
Well, that's not very nice.
And that kind of comes...
What's wrong with them?
I don't know, but that kind of refers to its diuretic properties.
Right.
So there's all sorts of stuff going on.
Normally the French have such lovely terms.
Well, I thought lion's tooth was quite nice.
Well, yeah, I still prefer dandelion.
Anyway.
The English version. Pissenlit.
Pissenlit.
Oh, yeah, piss. So piss is to pee?
Peace, I think so,
yeah. Lit is a bed?
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting.
I know. Very cool. Now for some plant names which will just make you smile, put a smile on your face. And they made me laugh out loud. Literally laughed out loud.
Literally lolled.
Literally lol. Literally lolled. Right. There is a begonia, which is this really beautiful jet black with a kind of green rim to it.
Wow.
Proper black.
Wow.
It's amazing. It looks like it's dead, but it's alive. Oh. Which is great. So it looks really cool. And there are quite a few plants which are kind of named after superheroes and stuff like that. And it's really funny. This is called a begonia Darth Vaderiana.
Are you serious?
Seriously. It's so brilliant.
I can't believe that.
It's an actual begonia Darth Vaderiana.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. And you said there are lots that are named after superheroes.
Yeah, there are some other ones. I can't think of them right now, but it's become a thing of kind of what it looks like, if it looks like a superhero or anything.
Not that Darth Vader's a superhero.
No.
He's the bad guy, isn't
villains or anything. I think it's really brilliant. Wow, that is
so cool. Darth Vaderiana.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I had no idea.
But the next one I think is just like, it's funny, but it's sweet at the same time. A milk thistle. Mm-hmm. Its Latin name is Sidibum marianum.
Oh, sweet.
Sidibum. I think that's really cute because it's from the Greek sidibos for tuft.
Oh my goodness me, Sidibum. I love that name.
Isn't that so cute?
Do you remember New Hope daylilies when they were on the show last year?
Yeah.
They had one of their daylilies was called Little Buggers, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Which I think Liz and Fee suggested was because the hybridizer was struggling.
Yeah, I get that completely. Anyway, so those are my little
gorgeous,
funny names.
And next week we'll have some edibles.
Yeah, some edible plants which are named after funny things as well.
Oh, lovely. Thank you, Sweet Pea. That has made me laugh.
Yeah.
Well, I have an animal fun fact. I
Great.
said to you, what would you like an animal fun fact on? And you said geckos.
Yes, I did.
You ask, you shall receive.
Oh, great.
Geckos can stick to any surface except Teflon.
Oh.
Which is really quite a thumbs up for Teflon, isn't it? If even geckos can't stick to it.
That is brilliant.
And even then, it's only dry Teflon. So if you wet the Teflon, they'll be able to sucker on. But they don't have any stickiness on their feet. It's not like they've got some sort of glue or a fluid of any sort that makes them more sticky. What they've got is these tiny nanoscale hairs all over their fingers. And they've got 6.5 million per gecko.
Okay, that is amazing.
And it's so impressive that scientists have been looking at ways to mimic it in the medical world for things like, bandages, that sort of thing. That need to stick and adhere.
So it just kind of grips.
Yeah.
Slight grip. Oh, that is really cool.
I love geckos. They're so sweet.
They are so cute. Oh, their eyes and oh my god. I just love them so much.
Well, let's move on from geckos.
I think so.
We have this episode of Gardener's World.
We do. We're back with Monty, which is nice.
Back with Monty at Longmeadow. Yep. So shall we get stuck in?
Absolutely.
This is Gardener's World 2025, episode 15 recap.
Off we go.
Monty's pruning his roses.
He is. It was a pretty rose, wasn't it?
All his roses look absolutely stunning, and it's slightly upsetting because I was thinking ours are fine. I was thinking ours are great. Now I just think they're a bit rubbish.
Oh, come on. We've got some really gorgeous roses. I think it's just because Monty has the most amazing,
perfection,
proper old English rose varieties. The doubles, the kind of swirly ones. They're just gorgeous.
Effort's gone into choosing them.
Yeah.
We haven't chosen any roses apart from those two on the pergola, and those we love.
Yeah, exactly. Actually. So it shows you that we can choose correctly.
So let me correct what I said.
Yeah.
I like the ones that we chose that are on the pergola that are really thriving. The ones that we inherited are all fine.
They are fine. Ours
pretty. They give lots of flowers.
Yeah.
They're fine.
They're fine.
They're not Monty's.
They're kind of like a filler in a bouquet as well. They're kind of the background colour.
Yeah.
They're not the centrepiece that I choose.
The main event.
Bouquet. Exactly.
Anyway, Monty's look great. He's deadheading.
Yeah.
We had some of that from Francis the other week as well.
Yeah. Very important to keep a long season.
Yep. And then he takes a wander down towards the grass borders and passes the most amazing raggedy looking poppy.
Yeah.
So it was red. So it was your traditional red with black bits on it.
Yeah.
But with a jagged sort of parroty
I know,
edge.
really, really cool.
Do you know what that is?
I have no idea.
Shall we try and find out what that is for next week?
I
thought
think
that was
so.
Gorgeous.
I think so. But he was going to the grass borders, which were full of Miscanthus stepus carex, so very green at the moment.
And he said he likes his wall of green.
Yeah, completely.
Not a huge amount of colour at the moment.
But he did say about the very little amount of colour, but there were ginger teleanthus rudbeckias, but the Knortias were really, I thought it was gorgeous. There's a lime green of all the foliage of the grasses, and then these Knortias, which were kind of this dark crimson colour.
Right, yeah.
I thought it was really, really lovely, actually.
But he said the main colour comes August to October.
Yeah, exactly. So got to wait a bit.
Did you get that palm sedge?
Yes. So he had this very small gap. I loved how he was just ramming everything into this area. So in the small gap, he was adding this Carex muskingumensis. So that was a palm sedge. Sedges have edges, apparently.
I love that.
I know, that's brilliant.
So he says it's the stems.
Triangular.
The stems tend to be triangular on a sedge as opposed to grasses where it's round.
Exactly. So that's quite interesting. I didn't know you could get triangular. I thought you could get square and round. But that's just my blissful ignorance of the plant world.
There's so much we don't know.
Yeah, completely. He said to water the soil beforehand, before putting the plant in, so the roots go down and it's not just kind of in a little pool.
Well, because he says they like damp conditions, which is great for Monty's place because they do get that regular flooding, don't they?
Oh,
he said they're usually in bogs in the wild.
Yeah.
So he says you water the hole, and that way the roots are going to follow the water down.
Down.
Rather than if you water it in afterwards.
Yeah, which I didn't know. It's a very, very good point.
Well, I just thought it was a rule of thumb that anything you ever planted, you planted it and immediately watered, because I thought it was about sort of drawing the soil in and around the roots so you didn't have any air gaps.
Yeah, I thought it really helped kind of firm it all in, let all the, as you said, the air gaps, everything slot into place. So I think that's quite interesting. But I suppose if the soil's so dry or kind of crumbly, it just kind of should slot in anyways.
Yeah.
I don't know. But there was also a Melinia caerulea transparent that he was adding in.
Oh, yeah.
That was another lovely grass.
Juxtaposition between the two.
Exactly.
Well, then we go with Toby to Herefordshire, to Stockton Bury Gardens, the most beautiful gardens.
Most beautiful gardens. Nice to see Toby as well.
Lovely to see Toby. I always enjoy Toby.
Yeah.
He's quite poetic, isn't he?
He's so poetic.
Talks. 4 acres in the middle of a working farm, and we get to meet the wonderful, wonderful Raymond Treasure.
Oh my gosh,
just
he
puts
was a
smile
treasure.
on your face. Complete national treasure.
Yeah.
Puts a smile on your face the minute he opens his mouth, or the minute you see him, actually.
Gosh.
Hasn't he got the most beautiful face?
And such a dude in shorts and wellies. Like, that's so cool.
He's the 4th generation.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's been in the family for 5 generations, and they opened it to the public 30 years ago. So it wasn't prior to that.
Okay.
So it's very much their home.
Yes, I like that. Yeah. It feels very homely, and he knows everything, and it is just beautiful.
Well, he was born there, and he worked the land.
Really?
And at 78, he still runs the garden. So pretty impressive.
I think that would be so cool to watch a garden really transform over 78
the evolution
years.
Of it. Can you imagine? He said he was gardening at the age of 6. But
so
he had
cool.
incredibly healthy looking broad beans, which
did.
he puts in on his birthday, the 15th of November.
Yep.
Everybody now knows when Raymond's birthday is.
Put that in your diary.
I imagine he'll be receiving lots of birthday cards from this point on.
I hope so. I think that's a good way of getting people to know your birthday. Yeah. I so such and such on my birthday, blink, blink.
Yeah.
He had a lot of top tips, like there's a whole lot of top takeaways to take away from this.
The biggest one for me was they do say it takes 4 lifetimes to know everything.
Oh,
and by the time you know everything, you're so boring, no one wants to talk to you.
That is the best quote I have ever heard. Better than any Shakespeare quote. That is brilliant. Absolutely loved that. But some other top takeaways. He had cow muck with courgettes in tubes to stop slugs and kind of keeps them in a nice little area.
Yeah.
Nicely protected.
And to stop, didn't he also say windrock?
Oh yes, that's also good because the young plants can be blown around, especially with the kind of stem and then all the foliage on top. And he did say that every year things change, which I think is so important to remember.
Yeah,
everything changes.
You think you've cracked it, and then Mother Nature throws something else at you. And for me, from somebody of his calibre who's been gardening since he was 6, that's a good 70 odd years that he's been going.
Wow.
For him to say something like that, it's very reassuring because I haven't been gardening for 70 odd years.
No.
And I just think it's because I'm rubbish when things go wrong. But he had a again, it's that sort of suck it and see, that kind of throw the rule book out the window, just do what works. Yeah. Enjoy it, have fun with it. And
exactly.
If it works. If it doesn't, move on.
Exactly. I think gardening should be understood as something that's always changing, and therefore you can't kind of grip onto it and go, you stay here right now, you do such and such every single year. It's always changing. It's not your fault. But something I absolutely loved was that huge building on the land with the ivy. Yeah, with the ivy completely swamping it.
Totally smothering it.
And I just thought that's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, 12th century dovecot. And it interested me that it was so smothered because, again, ivy is something, I've mentioned about your grandmother freaking me out about ivy up our wall.
Oh, gosh, she freaks you out. Yeah.
And if you're happy with it growing up a 12th century dovecot, which I imagine would be a listed building of some sort, then you're, obviously we haven't got too much to worry about with ivy. Just keep it away from the roof. Yeah. Let it insulate the walls.
Exactly, I think it's great. And also having a beautiful tulip springeroi around the base would be very nice as well. Yeah. It was gorgeous. I like that red, kind of flamey red, a little bit of orange in there, with then the bright lime green. Really nice.
And again, interesting, Toby saying it's something he struggled with.
Yeah, exactly. So it always is different for everybody. I'm really kind of understanding what gardening really is about.
Good.
About the kind of what gardening isn't about. It's not about rule books and knowing a plant off by heart, its Latin name, creating us. I get that it's science. There are so many scientific things about plants, but I think at the same time you have to use your brain and just kind of your heart and
your
just
instinct.
go with
your
it.
Heart. Yeah.
Let's just kind of, this says that and I do this. And then
you're absolutely right.
I'm learning to just love
your heart over
it.
your head, isn't it? Oh, that's so lovely to hear, Sweet Pea. It really is.
Yeah, so that's my new kind of thing. That's the biggest thing I'm taking away when I'm learning from all these people on Gardener's World. But I did also like some other plants which are around. I think it was a border just next door to the dovecot. There was some self-sown cow parsley, great umbellifera, and then this Smyrnium perfoliatum, perfoliate Alexanders with its really pretty lime.
Lime leaves, wasn't it?
Lots
pretty?
of lime around the place.
Lovely combination.
Yeah.
Another garden ethos of Raymond's is waste not, want not. So everything's repurposed and mended.
I loved this so much.
Did you see that shed?
Oh.
With all those beautiful old tools hanging up. Did it remind you of your granddad?
Entirely. And the days I've spent in his garages and in the sheds and barns, because he always had these outbuildings where we'd go out.
Yeah, and milling machines and all the oldest tools you can imagine, lathes.
I remember woodwork, doing so much woodwork, and he just had all his tools, and it was just so amazing. And always a pot of grease.
Always a pot of grease, that's right. Yes, his little wooden pot of grease.
And his hands used to get so greasy, and so would mine.
Yeah, he always would tell me whenever you were screwing a screw into some wood, always grease it first.
Yes.
To lubricate the process.
It's amazing.
Yeah. The other thing that your granddad does is uses old tools. He doesn't throw them away. He doesn't get modern new things. He has all the old ones. He keeps them rust free. He sharpens them. They're immaculate, just like those in Raymond's gorgeous shed. It was quite a homely feel to me watching Raymond going about his business.
Yeah, completely and utterly. He's got little outbuildings for all his tools and stuff.
And I absolutely loved how Toby was standing outside this shed, and he's just kind of propped up against it, chatting away to the camera, to us, about Raymond, who's next to him, as if Raymond isn't there.
I like that. It was really homely. I think Toby brings this proper kind of homeliness to whenever his episodes are, his kind of sections in the episodes are on. Yeah. He always kind of brings this, he's just chatting with an old friend.
Yeah, it's just entirely like that. And also, amazing. What I find about him, he's got very smiley eyes, and he says everything with a smile, so he immediately lifts my spirits. The minute he comes on the screen, because he's quite buoyant, he's upright and he's sort of struts around the place.
Exactly.
I really, really enjoy his presentation style.
Yeah, completely.
I think I'd probably put him in my top 3.
Top 3? Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely.
I wonder if he'd be my top 1. He might be.
Can't believe you just said
because
top
we've
1.
got Nick Bailey, Quick Slow.
Exactly.
We've got Carol, who's just so infectious. Oh goodness, no, it's impossible.
You could go
to rate
on
them.
and on and on.
Okay. But my favourite thing that Raymond was up to was grinding down old terracotta pots to dress the tops of pots.
That was so cool.
He's even using those old pots that have haven't been frost resistant.
Exactly.
And grinding them up in that sort of grinder thing.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I don't know, it looked like a meat grinder or something.
I know.
It's just chucking them in the top, and out the bottom came this lovely gritty stuff. Yeah, I thought that was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And then you've got this beautiful drone shot with the sheep amongst the trees.
I know.
That was stunning. A lot of drone shots in this segment.
So lush. Yeah, and then Toby walks up to this gate with this lock which was made from a cannibal from the Battle of Waterloo.
I love that so much.
How amazing.
Family heirloom made into a lock. Oh my goodness. But again, it reminds me of your grandfather.
Yeah, he would do that.
The only difference is, he doesn't
seem to keep stuff.
Oh no, he's very good at throwing away family heirlooms.
Yeah, completely. I don't know why.
They go in a skip.
They do.
If he doesn't think he wants them, he assumes the rest of us don't want it, so it all goes in a skip.
So you have to charge after him going, I'd like to keep that. And he's just like, what for?
But that wasn't it. It's more that your granddad is very much substance over style.
Yeah.
So things... I mean, there's real beauty in what he does. He's incredible,
of course,
with all these things. And he also can mend and fix anything, to the extent that I remember when I was at school, I would go around to my friends saying, my daddy can fix anything. And so friends would give me all sorts of things to take over him to fix in the workshop.
Oh gosh.
And really, he could fix anything, but not, for example, a little woodpecker toy that attaches to the top of a pencil that was made out of plastic and the spring had gone. How was he meant to fix that? I'll always remember that woodpecker toy on the top of a pencil, and a friend saying, could you ask your daddy to fix this, please?
Oh, sweet.
But everything else he could. But he is substance over style, so it will work. It will function incredibly.
Yeah.
It just might not look that great.
Might just want to put a box over the top just to kind of cover it in some way, because it won't look perfect.
It's really not looking great, but it'll work.
Exactly.
Whereas Raymond has style and substance with
Yeah.
what he does. And that cannonball was case in point.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
It was.
It looked like it was made for that gate.
He has boshed the 2 S's.
He's pushed the 2 S's, sweetie.
And then finally, some of the last plants that they talked about in his garden were in the greenhouse. Gorgeous little greenhouse, wooden greenhouse. And of course, in the middle of the greenhouse, another recycled object to create something even better. And of course, beautiful, was a millstone as the centerpiece for terracotta pots. And I absolutely love that. And in here we had Nicotiana, we had peaches and potatoes. Potatoes.
Why not?
Which Toby was very shocked by.
Yeah.
It's like, what on earth?
But again, it was a beautifully set up greenhouse. Everything looked lovely in its place. Even the potatoes looked great where they were.
Exactly.
Just everything, a lot of style to everything he does.
Completely.
Then there was another drone shot. This is the only drone shot I didn't enjoy, which kind of went over the pond and the drone was spinning. And I don't know about you, did you feel a bit sick? I felt it, and I was trying to focus on the pond, but I didn't get a chance to because it was spinning already.
Yeah, it's funny what certain camera angles and spinach can do to one.
Spinach. So that's the only time I haven't enjoyed the drone shots, completely. But otherwise they're immaculate.
Exactly.
And Toby's in that beautiful dingle with the running water, that pond.
Everyone loves a good dingle.
Stunning, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then towards the end, they talk about this iris that Raymond stole from school when he was a lad. And it's still going.
Isn't that amazing?
Absolutely wonderful.
That is beautiful.
I mean, that's a family heirloom, isn't it?
Yeah, completely.
And at the end, Toby says of Raymond, he treats his tools, he treats Mother Nature, he treats the land with respect. And you can really see that. Really, that's absolutely sums up Raymond brilliantly.
Completely and utterly.
Well, nothing was mentioned about the staggeringly beautiful wisteria that they have at Stockton Bury. Absolutely enormous flowers.
What colour?
What you call the collection of the flowers?
I have no idea.
Like I don't know, I'll have to look that up.
A collection.
But anyway, you know the big sort of looks like a load of grapes dangling.
Completely. Is it a purple
really
one?
Enormous. Sort of, what am I saying there? It looked like kind of a metre long flower bits collections.
Collection. Is it a purple one?
It's a purple one.
It is a purple one.
All over the house it looks like, but it's it clearly is very, very old. Big, thick, woody stems. And really just dangling everywhere. Maybe it just wasn't out at the time that they went there, but it was absolutely stunning. So that's on their Instagram page and on their website, and they put a lot of information on there. And it seems that the website, the Instagram, is run by one of Raymond's nieces. Oh, yeah. So that's the 5th generation that's involved that they talk about.
Sweet.
So his 2 nieces, there's Tamsin Westhorpe and Connie Marston. And Tamsin herself is apparently a well-known garden writer, author, speaker, and she's an RHS judge.
Oh,
so,
cool.
You know,
that
she's
would be
prolific
fun.
in the garden world. Yeah, you love any kind of judging.
Oh, it'd just be so much fun.
But Raymond and his partner, Gordon Fenn, who also, he's an accomplished plantsman as well, they've been developing the gardens over the last 50 years. And on their website, they say that there was very little evidence of a garden until Raymond and Gordon got involved.
Oh, yeah?
But they're still there, so they're still working the gardens. Then there are the 2 nieces, Tamsin and Connie. They run the gardens and the cafe.
Oh,
and
always like a good cafe.
You sure do, don't you?
Completely.
Any sign of cake and you're there. But it is a family home, and Tamsin talks about how when she was younger and she would go visit the grandmother, it would just be really strange because they'd be eating their Sunday lunch and people would be coming around looking in through the window. Isn't that an odd feeling?
Strange.
So it took a bit of adjusting when they did decide to open it up for people to look round.
Absolutely.
As well as the family home being there, they have also set up a little museum in the stables which gives a timeline of the garden and who was involved.
That would be brilliant.
And it also includes this little stash of Roman coins that were found, and this was on the BBC news website, that in 2017 this little bag of copper coins was found by 2 metal detectors. They were off-duty paramedics.
Oh, cool.
And it was back in 2013 when they found these coins, and apparently there was evidence of the coins having been buried in Hessian sacks stuffed with leaves in a satchel, sort of dug quite deep in the ground, so
interesting,
well hidden, 1700 years ago. They have various things on at Stockton Bury, so you can actually book garden tours. And
great.
Rather than just looking around, Tamsin will show you around and talk you through everything. I think that would be really interesting.
Really interesting,
especially if she's got this horticultural background and knowledge, and then the history of the gardens.
You'd have to take a notebook to write down all of her tips.
Then they also do various workshops. So they've got botanical painting workshop through July and September.
Ooh.
And then it's also one of the venues for the Herefordshire Art Week. That's in September.
Okie dokes.
And they also, of course, which is completely suitable, are holding a repair workshop where you can bring all your old tools. You can get all your tools sharpened.
Brilliant. Oh, that sounds a lot of fun. We should get Grandad down. He would love that. Can you imagine Raymond and Grandad together?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I imagine they'd have a lot to talk about.
Oh, I would have to get out of that room. It would be a lot of, so what would you say about these shears? I would say that.
It's a very nice pair of shears you've got.
Very nice.
And then there's also gin and cheese evening on the 13th of September.
Well, that sounds great as well.
Not big on gin, but cheese I'll go for.
Cheese,
for sure.
I am going for that.
The gardens are also open through the NGS, but they're done for this year. But I'll put a link to the NGS page so you can see it for next year.
Great stuff.
And finally, you mentioned there about Raymond's shorts and welly combo. Well, it turns out that Raymond has a little fan club of viewers who think the same, Sweet Pea.
Oh.
They've contacted Tamsin and co about his wellies and short combo to the extent that Tamsin's thinking about printing up some T-shirts with him on it in his wellies and shorts.
Yeah, people love that.
They would, and she's even asked people to suggest slogans to go on the T-shirt.
Oh, cool.
There's a very funny one from Laura Shepherd's Lens Photography, and she suggested Glastonbury. No, Stockton Bury.
Oh, that is absolutely brilliant. I love that.
We have Monts with his scented pelargoniums.
Yes, sniffing them all.
Sniffing them, yep, that looked fun. It looked like
did.
having a little shop of fragrances.
Exactly.
Trying them all out.
We're not usually keen on pelargoniums.
No.
They're not something, I look at them and they're fine, but scented, okie dokes.
That
I'll
sounds
be there.
fun, doesn't it?
It does.
He talks about one which is called Old Spice. Did you hear him mention that?
Yeah, the Old Spice variety.
Do you know what that is?
No.
Old Spice is an old-fashioned men's aftershave.
Really?
The old ads used to be like a man. I remember them very much from my childhood.
Really?
When TVs used to be square. And it'd be this man surfing.
Oh, yeah.
And there'd be all these women watching, looking all amazed
Flustered.
at him and all flustered and gazing longingly at this surfing dude.
Gosh.
And they'd play this music in the background, quite dramatic music, Kamina Burana. I don't know if you remember that from your music days.
I can't remember exactly what that is, but it rings a bell.
Did you get any others that he was smelling?
Yeah, he had a chocolate one, smelt chocolatey. I think there was, I don't know if it was this one specifically, because online they say that this is kind of minty chocolatey, but it was the Pelargonium tomentosum.
Right.
That apparently can smell a bit chocolatey as well as minty.
Okay.
Monty thought it was just minty.
Like an after eight.
Yeah. There was also pink capricorn. Very, very lovely one, actually. And a Pelargonium felicifolium as well.
Which he says he saw at Gardener's World. And Gardener's World Live. And I'm wondering, do you remember we saw him doing a spot of shopping when the other presenters were busy working?
Yeah, completely. He was just like, I hope the cameras don't see me.
Yeah. And he was buying them from Growing Crazy, Stephen Pollard's Growing Crazy.
Yeah, completely.
Pelargonium place. I wonder if it was that one.
I think it was that one.
Shoved into a paper bag.
I think so. He said that it was kind of a birthday treat, but his birthday was kind of some time away at some point.
Oh, right.
That's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go, it's soon my birthday, even if it's like 6 months away.
Yeah. Why not? And then he mentions about cutting them back. You can cut them back to stop them sprawling.
Yeah.
But then says he rather likes that leggy look, which I do as well. I
do as well.
Tumbling over the pot.
Very nice. And then the top takeaway of top takeaways. Putting the scented leaves and sugar.
Wasn't that brilliant?
Bake a cake. You have the most amazing perfumed cake ever. Oh, I'm so doing that.
What a great idea.
We're getting scented pelargoniums.
That's the sort of thing I can imagine Delia doing from Hone Hill Dreaming.
Oh my gosh, you should. Yeah. She should so do that.
That'd be right up her street. If she isn't already doing it, I'm sure she would have picked up on that one.
Exactly.
Then we go to the fern guy in Bristol.
Yes.
This is Neil Frame, who's a fern fanatic.
Yeah, and he has so many ferns. He's got a really nice shady back garden. Lots of trees. Exactly. Lots of trees, very barky, very leaf mulched soil. So it's the perfect environment for ferns.
Exactly. And he gives us really a little bit of a lecture, a little talk on all the types of ferns. So he says that they're suited to any style of garden. They can be found all over the world apart from Antarctica, of course.
Which is interesting because I was like, well, what's the fern Dicksonia antarctica?
Oh,
why is it called so? Which is, I think it's the male fern. That's its kind of common name. I looked up to understand why it's called Dicksonia antarctica. And the Antarctica bit is just from the Greek ant, meaning opposite, and arctos, meaning bear.
Yeah.
So I don't know what...
Opposite of the Arctic. Anyway.
Yeah, but I think it's quite amazing that they're absolutely everywhere.
So he talks about the different types. Did you hear any of those?
Right, so he goes through quite a lot. So we had... Let's hope that Sweet Bee can say the names correctly. We had the Polysticum setiferum, that is the soft shield fern. That one likes dry shade.
Yeah.
Perfect, because wasn't it the other day that we were saying we have this spot, it is dry and it is shady.
Yep.
We need something in there. That is perfect. There was a hart's tongue fern called Asplenium scolopendrium.
Very good, Sweet Pea.
Very nice. Then this one, and I've got a way you can remember the Latin name. The hard fern called Blechnum spicant. I just think Beckham can't speak. So Blechnum spicant, can't speak. Other way round, speak can't. I think honestly that is a really
might
good...
be useful to somebody out there.
I think so. I think it's a great way. And to be honest, it's the one that I completely remember. So
well, it's working.
Exactly. Then he goes on to talking about the intricacy of the fronds of the ferns, which I've never looked at particularly. I've just gone, it is a fern. It's very beautiful. Yeah. So I think it's very amazing. So he talked all about the pinnates.
Yeah. This was very interesting.
Yeah. So he had just a singular pinnate shaped fern. So it's just one kind of leaf.
The fronds divided once.
Exactly. So that one looked possibly like a Christmas fern. Not sure. Then he said you can get a bipinnate. So that's divided once, then twice into mini leaves on leaves.
Well, it's divided into pinna and pinnules.
Exactly. For some reason I put a little wave on top of the N for my pinnules because it's a
pina
bit
colada.
Exactly, pina colada.
But it isn't.
It isn't, unfortunately. And then you can get tripinnate, which is then divided a third time into little teeny tiny leaves on the tiny leaves which are on the tiny leaf.
Which is your pinna, your pinnules and your pinnulets.
And then, of course, comes the propagating and seeds.
Right up your street.
Not seeds, they're spores. That
exactly.
is the big difference.
So they don't produce seeds, so they don't need to be pollinated. They can just reproduce from their spores. And it was very interesting how sterile he had to have the environment.
I know. It's like with orchids, you've got to do the same, and you've got to... Everything has to be very, very sterile for things which don't have seeds, which have that kind of organic matter to help them.
He dishwashed the pots.
I know.
He sieved the soil.
Yeah.
And then he sterilises the soil with
boiling water.
Puts boiling water on it through a sheet of kitchen roll that stops any foreign bodies getting in. And then he places it in a bag once it's cooled down. Yeah.
I think this is quite amazing. I remember actually just to show you how rubbish I'd be at propagating ferns. I remember in biology one time we had to heat this kind of gel sheet which we were going to grow little bacteria on, and there was a specific one that we had to grow, so we had to heat it, sterilize it, keep it over this kind of Bunsen burner thing and heat it, and then we'd put it away, and then the teacher said that then the next week we could come back and see who was the best at sterilizing properly.
Did you have a lot of bacteria growing on yours?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, sweet.
I mean, my friend had the worst. He had like blue, green, red, all the different kind of possible fungi growing in his thing.
Crikey.
I was like, what did you do? He's like, obviously I didn't do anything. And mine had some weird stuff going on in it, and I just thought, I'm not very good at sterilising.
That's an interesting experiment to do. Did anyone have completely clear gel?
No, it was really hard to do.
Yeah.
Like, you had to be so meticulous.
Yeah, makes you think, doesn't it?
Everything.
There's always something that'll thrive, regardless of what you do.
Yeah. So I don't know how good I'd be with orchids nor ferns.
No, perhaps not. Well, anyway, with these, he tapped the spores onto the soil, and then he put it in the Ziploc bag. And then within a couple of months, you get a green film where the spores germinated, and that's the gametophyte.
It is, which has both sexes apparently, and then after 2 years, you get
2 years, Sweet Pea.
the first teeny tiny little fern
Gosh,
leaves.
that day would be a day of celebration. If you saw that little fronds coming up.
That would be quite amazing.
After 2 years.
But I don't know if I'm capable of that.
I don't know if I'm capable of that.
Gosh, we really are bad when it comes to patience.
We're just, really, really impatient family. But
very impatient family.
Apart from our trees, we're prepared to be patient with those.
Yeah.
But I'm so impressed that there are people out there who will spend that time waiting, and 2 years later, they've got it, having looked after it for 2 whole years. That's the other thing.
I know.
It gets forgotten about.
Just
on
crazy.
Our windowsills.
I would forget about it.
Massive celebrations.
Yeah.
Quite at the hangover afterwards.
Party.
Well, Neil, he's actually a gardener at Astle Manor, which is in Oxfordshire.
Okay.
And he has hidden his light under a bushel, because he said he's a member of the British Pteridological Society.
Yes.
Which we know is
know
the
about
Fern
that.
Society.
Yep.
Silent P as in pterodactyl. Or as your granddad always said, silent P as in swimming pool.
That's brilliant.
I think that's a real dad joke.
I think so.
But Neil, he has hidden his light under a bushel because he has made botanical history by discovering a special Polypodium cabricum, aptly named Neil Frame.
Oh!
How awesome is that?
That is so cool.
He was on a BPS field trip and he discovered it. Now, they won't say where that is, obviously.
No, of course
they don't want people turning up. But he's taken a small piece of the rhizome to grow on and safeguard it for the future. But he says he often goes back to the place where he found it growing in the wild, just checks it's happy, sort of cleans around it.
Oh, wow. Gosh, you've got to be like a secret agent. You've got to make sure no one's following you.
Yeah. Monty's harvesting his garlic.
He is.
And he's got some which are looking great and some which look rotten.
Yeah.
The key takeaway I took from this Sweet Pea was you should dig them up, you shouldn't pull them up, which is what I always do, is just yank them up.
Oh, I do. I just go, woohoo!
Yeah, so we should start digging those up.
Yeah.
Lots of lovely elephant garlic, and then he's got some rotten ones, which he said are the hard neck ones.
Yeah, the cork white variety were all rotten.
They were all bad. So he said the important thing here is he won't be growing garlic in that bed now for the next 3 years.
Yes.
Just to be safe.
Exactly.
Then we go to Sue Kent.
We do.
Midsummer at Sue Kent's place.
Yeah.
We see her tumbling Tom tomatoes, which are looking very good. And apparently she's done nothing to them, which is always appealing.
Great. She's also got some corn and tomatoes as well.
Yep.
Beautiful roses again. She's got amazing roses in her garden. And she was also growing some amaranth, and she wanted to have it as an edible and an ornamental because it's just as good for both. I think it's a lovely plant.
She's putting some in by her hydrangeas.
Completely, which is perfect, as she said, that nice pale pink with that burgundy. Ooh,
yeah,
great.
Very nice. Didn't you love when she was cutting out the lead flower, she did a little whoop?
Yeah.
Which reminded me so much of you. Whoop.
Oh, completely.
And then I was really interested in the bit where she was looking at the old annual seeds that she had put in that bed.
Yeah.
A little experiment to see if any of them had lasted.
Yeah.
I think what we gather from this is that those 40-year-old status didn't do anything.
Doomed.
As far as she could see.
Yeah.
You never know. The night is young.
Exactly.
But lots of other things are coming up, so I'm very inspired to do that with our old ones.
Yeah, I think that's quite nice to have a proper bed. So she had echiums, cosmos, poppies, lettuce.
Even a lettuce, yeah.
I like that. I did try to do that in the wildflower patch. I had some edibles like some parsley and stuff in there.
But all that's come up is
Phacelia.
Yep.
Yeah, it is purple.
Which is lovely.
It is great.
But some variety would also be nice.
Yeah. And then in this old washing tub, which is perfect size, fairly decent size as well.
It was quite deceptive because at first when she was looking at it, I thought it was like one of our little tubs. In fact, the little one that we first made a pond out of.
The little one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was actually a decent sized tub that you could sit in.
Yeah, completely.
It's the same tub that we used to wash our great big Newfoundland dog in.
Oh,
in the summers. Well, actually, yeah, to wash him, but also so that he had somewhere to step into when he got too hot. So we would fill it right up, had a cork bung at the bottom, and he would, when he was too hot with the British summers, he would go and flop, 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 4 legs in, and then because he was so big, he was like 11 stone, he'd have to kind of squash himself in, and all his buoyant fur would bob on the surface, and he'd have to sort of tuck himself in, and then he just would sit.
He'd look like an ice cream. Just kind of this ball on top.
He was a Newfoundland, so he was huge.
Yeah.
And a lot of fur. But
sweet.
loved water.
Yeah.
And he would sit there for hours, and then he would be very sort of crampy when he got out, very stiff.
I can imagine you squashed yourself into a tiny basin.
Oh,
Barnaby.
sweet. He was a sweetheart.
Wonder if Hobbs would like that. She doesn't. She can get a little bit too hot sometimes.
She does, yeah. She has to really manage the heat.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Sue.
Yeah, she wasn't shoving any Newfoundlands into this wash basin.
In that pond.
But she was putting in bulrushes, variegated water pennywort, Anemopsis californica, and hornwort oxygenators.
Yeah. Then she talks about how her grandfather had a walnut tree and planted a walnut from it for her father, and then her father did the same for her, and she's now going on to do the same for her son.
I love, there's a lot of generations in this programme, actually.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I really, really like that.
And she says about imagining her grandchildren sitting under the shade, and I dream of that. Not that there's any pressure for you to have grandchildren.
No.
But I dream of just someone being able to sit under the shade of our trees.
I think we will, and I think it will be so lovely.
It's a distant dream, though, because they are really, really small.
But they're bare root, and they've really taken off. Like,
those ones have.
The silver birch, I would say, have easily gained 10 centimetres.
Possibly, since February.
Yeah, completely.
And finally, Sue is drying her roses.
Yeah, rose sweet honey.
Sweet honey, yeah.
Really peachy pinky colour.
It was Rose of the Year in 2020, she said.
Well, I think it's the rose of my year.
It's
this
right
year.
Up your street.
Completely.
And she was putting it in her dehydrator.
Yep.
10 hours at 35 degrees.
Yeah.
And it came out a bit smaller, obviously crispy. But it kept quite a lot of the colour, I thought.
I know, it looked really rather lovely.
And apparently it smells amazing. Still.
Which is, of course, great to have that in the house for winter.
Monty mentions about using his dehydrator for chilies.
Yeah, of course.
If we could start getting some chilies, I'd love to do that. But chilies seem hard to come by in our garden.
They're very difficult. And last year there was no taste whatsoever, but I happened to rub my eye and completely burnt
your eyeball.
My eyeball. It was absolutely awful.
Monty's talking about his opium poppies.
He does.
Absolutely stunning, aren't they?
Really, really gorgeous ones. And he had to get out this rogue white poppy because no white in the jewel garden.
Yeah, because you don't want it to dilute the colour of the others when it starts hybridising.
Exactly.
And he mentions, of course, about poppies, how they love when you've dug the ground, hence poppies on the battlefields, of course.
Exactly.
And he says he hasn't sown any opium poppies for 10 years, so they've obviously been lying there dormant, waiting for them to dig up the jewel garden.
Which is perfect. It's great. I like that. It's a little welcome to the new jewel garden.
And then he's in the cottage garden where he's got his oriental poppies.
Yeah, Patty's plum. Nice dark colour. Can go brown. Yeah. Which he said is quite interesting. I'm not sure if I'd like my poppy to go brown.
Yeah, I think... Do I prefer it brown or the garish red oriental poppy that we have?
Yes.
Because it's very garish.
Like very garish. And I think when you have something so garish, when it's so kind of dominant with the oriental poppies, which are huge, enormous, huge.
Yeah.
I think having something garish is perfect for something so big. It's just
do you?
I am here.
I am here, people. Yeah, I think I'd like something more subdued, but maybe that's my old age.
I can understand.
Anyway, we need to cut that back, don't we? So that we could possibly get another flowering later in the year.
Exactly. Or at least just some nice foliage, because it is very nice foliage. Slightly prickly, though.
Then we go to Lyme Regis. This is Erika Savory's place.
Yes, it is.
Apparently last September they were there.
Yeah.
She has the most incredible views. She's on the Jurassic Coast.
I know. I love the Jurassic Coast. There are quite a few gardens on the Jurassic Coast.
There's a lot down there, isn't there?
And it's stunning. I just think it's so... it's just picturesque, but at the same time slightly rugged and slightly formal. It's all working very well.
Her garden is amazing.
It is.
They bought the plot 20 years ago.
Yep.
It looked like from the photo it was a small bungalow.
It did.
Which looks like they've replaced with quite a substantial place.
Yeah, but really nice.
And then this was the interesting point, Sweet Pea, about how the first thing that they did was create all the path and the steps.
Yeah.
All the structure first.
All the structure.
They needed to terrace it, didn't they?
Because there's a gentle slope.
Yeah. And obviously with was going to say, with the benefit of hindsight, we would have done all the structure first, but I think also there was a certain need to get plants in the ground quickly so that there was less maintenance because of needing to mow that very steep hill.
Steep hill. Yeah, completely. We did just want to cram as much in. And I think also, I don't know if there was a part of you that thought this, but for me, I had loved so much gardening, doing the veg patch and everything, that I really, really wanted to get the flowers and see some flowers with that hill, which was just kind of bare and nothing. It was not nice whatsoever.
Not nice.
So all the structures was all kind of muddy, and I just wanted to get plants and flowers and colour.
Yeah, I understand that. And of course, one wants to get that going really quickly, but I do think the reason we had to, out of necessity, that we had to go for it was because the mowing was impossible.
Exactly.
It was putting our lives in danger, quite literally,
Yeah.
every time that I mowed that, and it was 13 hours of trying to do it each time. So
Yeah, and we had to do it together as well. Remember our little teamwork?
a little tag team.
Because I had to kind of
Feed the electric cable.
Feed the electric cable down and then pull it up at the same time as you, because otherwise you'd mow over it.
The electric cable, which is another danger. Oh my goodness me.
It was
so
mad.
glad we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
So I think it was out of necessity. So hindsight and all that, that's great. But actually, I don't think we could have done anything different. Of course, if we were millionaires, A, we probably wouldn't live here.
Nope.
B, if we did, then we would pay someone to have done it all. And then they could have done it properly with all the structure first.
Really nice walls.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
anyway,
stone.
we could dream all day about what we'd do for millionaires.
But, I mean, her garden was completely and utterly dreamy. It had so many different areas. It had its different levels. It had very different
types of soil. She said there were 3 types of soil:
clay, flint, sand areas, leaf mould, exposed to sun.
Yeah,
bits.
so on the east a lot of the clay, in the middle it was flint and sand, and on the west was the really easy bit with all the leaf mulch.
Exactly,
leaf mould.
Trees, nice kind of woodlandy spot. So I thought her garden had all the perfect little areas that you would want ideally in a garden.
Something that Erika said, which was so relatable, was that there were times when she was thinking, oh my goodness, what have I done? And we've done that on many occasions, haven't we?
That is when you absolutely, completely and utterly need someone else there to kind of go, right, come on, we know what we're doing. We're going to do this. We've got it.
And that's how we've been. If I've been low, you've been high.
Yeah.
If you've been low, I've been high. So we've managed to balance ourselves back into a nice equilibrium.
Exactly. I think it's great. And of course, the best part of her garden was the really amazing plants.
Beautiful planting.
So she had a veg plot on one area. There was also a subtropical area with bananas and gingers.
And there was a sun part of the garden, the warmest part, where they have sun pretty much morning to evening.
Oh, that is going to be toasty.
And then did you hear her say she has a lot of her favourite babes?
I wrote that down with loads of exclamation marks. I thought that was absolutely so
Which
gorgeous.
took me by surprise, because she seemed quite serious the rest of the time, and then she calls her salvias her babes.
Her favourite babes. She had salvia Phyllis Fancy. That was really pretty. Purple with kind of silvery tones. Really pretty. There was a Leucantha purple velvet. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Need to get that. Also, did you see that beautiful spiral aloe?
Well, I was going to ask you if you spotted it in a pot.
Yes.
Which had the golden ratio that you've talked about.
Exactly. We're seeing a lot of plants now.
What's it called?
The Fibonacci sequence.
That's it.
Where you add each number and then it kind of swirls around. It's like a pineapple.
That was perfection, the one she had.
It was perfection.
And that was an aloe, was it?
Yeah, I think it was a spiral aloe.
Wow, it was beautiful. It
was.
Looked like geometry, didn't it?
Completely. Then there was also a Leonorus, which I've never heard of before. Never seen this plant. Completely new to me. It's called lion's tail, lion's ear.
That beautiful orange plant.
Yeah, South African, and it is in the mint family, which I can tell slightly. It looked so very slightly like a catmint going towards that kind of area, so I can understand. And it obviously was orange. Looks amazing.
And she put it with a blue salvia.
Oh, but like an actual blue salvia, a sky blue salvia, which I thought was great. Yeah, the salvia uliginosa.
I totally get her love for salvias.
I do.
We have been converts since the day we started planting up our garden.
Yeah.
I didn't really know about them before, if
No.
I'm honest with you. I didn't know a lot about anything before this garden.
No.
I still don't, but I do know
Yeah.
about salvias, and we have so many different types, and they're just the plant that keeps giving, and you can just leave them to it.
Yeah.
I think they're fantastic.
You can even cut them back really hard and they'll give you all this lush growth.
Yeah.
They're brilliant, brilliant plants.
I absolutely loved this garden. It makes me want to have a sea view.
Yes.
Because just having that sea view over the top, and they live right by a coastal path, so they've got the beach right down
Really?
below them.
Oh,
Absolutely
perfect.
beautiful.
That is my dream, to have a coastal path coming from my garden.
Can you imagine? And their garden can be visited through the NGS.
Oh, perfect.
So you
We should
can
pop
go and
down
enjoy
there.
it. You could combine it with a walk further along and down the coastal path and spend the day on the beach, couldn't you?
That sounds brilliant. Beach and gardens.
Oh, amazing. Back at Longmeadow, did you see that peach-coloured plant in Monty's garden?
Oh, no.
Well, I did. It was gorgeous.
What was
I would have
that?
thought you'd like it. It was orange, and it was a foxtail lily.
Oh.
Perhaps Cleopatra.
Ooh, okie dokes.
Sort of a peachy coloured one.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Then came a bit of a plea from Mons for films of your gardens,
I
which
know.
surprised me, because we haven't actually had any for quite a while, have we?
We haven't.
I would have thought they'd be inundated with people sending in films of their gardens.
Oh, I like the word inundated.
Oh, right, okay.
It's a nice word. But yeah,
Thanks, Soupy.
I don't know. It's a very satisfying word.
But it is one of my favourite segments, is the Your Gardens, because
It
it's all
is.
so relatable and you get some real characters in there.
You
so
do.
Come on, peeps.
Come
Get
on.
your gardens in. I want to see them.
Completely.
I think largely because I'm nosy as well.
Yeah.
Monty's in his greenhouse and he's talking about growing peaches and apricots.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is ironic because there was, of course, Wendy Bundy in her flooded garden in North Yorkshire, way north of where Monty is.
Yeah.
Having no
colder.
problems
Exactly.
growing her Yorkshire apricots.
She was absolutely fine, so I don't know what's going on with
So
Monty.
Monty's got a bit of catching up to do there with
Yeah.
Wendy. And then we have jobs for the weekend.
Yes.
Remove tomato side shoots.
Done that.
Sow hardy annuals.
Nope, haven't done that.
Trim the ends of hedges.
Definitely haven't done that. And then finally he was showing his paradise garden, which I think is one of the most beautiful areas at Monty Don's garden. And there was a Martican lily, Claude Shride, Munstead wood, and Darcy Bustle roses, and Sanguisorba crimson queen, all looking fabulous.
And then we have a final shot of a very tired Ned.
Yeah.
Ready for the crew
Poor
to
Ned.
go home. Leave him in peace.
Exactly.
Right, Sweet Pea, your favourite plant from this episode?
It was, in fact, from Erika's garden, the Leucantha purple velvet.
Ah, right.
And I possibly have special mention to the lion's tail.
Lion's tail, yeah.
Just because I'd never seen that before and I think it's utterly stunning.
Yeah.
And what was yours?
Mine was that foxtail lily in Monty's garden, that peach-coloured plant, which I don't think you saw.
No, I didn't see, so I need to go have a look at
Yeah,
that.
it's really pretty. It'd be right up your street. You probably were looking down at your Pidfad Pods writing when you walked past that.
Can't believe I missed that.
And top takeaways. There were so many.
So many, but I think obviously you have to know that mine was the scented pelargoniums in sugar for cake.
Oh, of course, that would be yours.
Obviously.
Yeah, food related.
Yeah. What
Mine
was yours?
Raymond grinding his old terracotta
Yeah.
pots. I mean, really, everything and anything Raymond was
Everything.
doing, I would just hang off his every word, I think.
Oh yeah, I would. He was absolutely brilliant.
He really was. Well, then next week, Gardener's World comes from the world's largest annual flower show, the spectacular RHS Hampton Court Garden Festival. Adam Frost, Rachel de Tame and Francis Tophill explore inspirational show gardens bursting with vibrant colour, bold ideas and seasonal planting, sharing expert advice and tips to try at home, whether in a back garden, on a balcony or just on a sunny windowsill. A flower farmer prepares for her first ever flower show, showcasing her beautiful homegrown dahlias and seasonal cut flowers.
Oh, lovely.
In a bid to save the hedgehog, a young designer unveils a pocket-sized wildlife haven designed to support one of the UK's most endangered mammals, proving how even small urban gardens can help wildlife thrive.
Very nice.
And a green-fingered couple share why their love of chilies and heat motivated them to move from a cold north-facing greenhouse in Aberdeen to grow 100 varieties in sunny Devon.
Oh, well, that's going to be interesting. And finally, I can get some top tips on chilies.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe we can now find out how to get some flavour into them.
Oh, that'd be great.
And just one thing I thought you might be interested in, Sweet Pea, about Hampton Court. There is going to be a show garden called the Alan Partridge Soundbath Garden.
No.
Devised by TV character Alan Partridge, played by Steve Coogan, in collaboration with designers Joe and Laura Carey, offers a contemporary rethinking of the outdoor space.
Oh my gosh, that is brilliant. I hope we see that next week.
I hope so too.
Oh my gosh, that is brilliant.
Surely they'll show it. Well, thank you for listening. That's us for this week.
It sure is. Please give us a big thumbs up. Click on follow, subscribe, whatever the buttons are.
Whatever you need to press.
And of course, notifications so that you can see when our podcast is coming out.
Yep.
And do remember that we have the Patreon. So if you want the podcast to come out a day earlier, which is always great, exclusiveness, you can go onto the Patreon, and there are also some other bits and bobs to bring some sunshine to your day.
Yeah, sounds lovely. And we will see you next week, same time, same place.
Exactly.
It's on Friday again.
Yes, it is, because there is no Glastonbury.
No more Glastonbury. We'll see you next week. Bye bye, Sweet Pea.
Bye, Mummy Bear.